Introducing the Rhino tank, the piercing horn of the Scav front line. The Rhino is the main battle tank available to Scav forces and becomes an invaluable resource in any engagement. The Rhino has moderate speed on its side, able to search further afield with less threat than lightly armoured vehicles. Remember though, it is still subject to being slower than traditional scouting units. The cost of the Rhino means that the Rhino is normally operated in groups or, to suit their namesake, a crash of rhinos. In this formation, a charge of rhinos becomes a formidable challenge for any opponent. The thick skin of the Rhino tank means that the Rhino can be used to hold the front line in skirmishes, while Scav commanders secure reinforcements to send to the front line. The Rhino is the piercing horn of the Scav. The Rhino is a reliable frontline tank of more traditional design. Whilst it has an aging V12 engine and 105mm main cannon, Scav modifications have thickened the beast's hide, giving it an intimidating presence on today's wargrounds. The Rhino features decent thick armour considering the affordability of the unit. Whilst not necessarily the most heavily armoured unit in the modern world, the Rhino can take a beating from lighter attackers with ease. With the cannon, with relatively good rates of fire, the Rhino is able to make light work of smaller, lightly armoured targets, all without breaking a sweat. The Rhino can move relatively unchallenged early into a battle, as in numbers, the Rhino truly poses a threat to lightly armoured scouting parties. The Rhino has a unique manoeuvre of its own that allows it to help control its opponents. This is why all Rhino tanks have horns built into their very essence. The Rhino can use a special attack and charge its enemy. Stampeding towards its prey, the Rhino will deal damage, potentially flipping an enemy vehicle. Some commanders in the Scav forces have chosen to use this attack as a finale in their battle dance, using it only when an enemy is on its last legs, guaranteeing destruction. In numbers, the Rhino can take on similarly armoured units. This may come at the loss of some of its own crash, however. If you like what you see here today, our Kickstarter is found in the description, launching end of November. Whilst it may be able to secure victory, it's also worth remembering that reinforcements will be needed to capitalise on the success of rhinos. Against a more heavily armed opponent such as the Monarch tank, the Rhino cannot compete and must be reinforced. Without a support of a crash, one or two rhinos will easily be wiped out by a superior tank such as the Monarch. In superior numbers, however, the Rhino can charge and establish dominance, securing the skirmish in favour of a Scav commander. In large enough numbers, the Rhino can take on a fierce force, able to demolish opposition forces for the future of Scav. Our Kickstarter launches end of November. Sign up in the description and comments below. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on the latest unit reveals and development logs.